Hey, good evening, Peter. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good. I'm great. I'm great,
Yeah,
Dharam. Thank you.
I'm very, very happy and excited to have Peter today here with me. Having so much experience and going through the journey of PgMP, now on PfMP. I'm very, very happy to have him here. And before that, I like to appreciate, thank you, all of you joining these programs again and again. I can see some of you familiar name coming again, learning from Scott, learning from Peter, learning from Sean, many other people, and a lot many people are in pipeline. I have a pipeline filled up to April next year. So I'm very privileged to have people such a excellent mind putting up their hand. They want to share knowledge with all of you guys. So thank you, Peter, for accepting my invite.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah, so let me introduce Peter. Peter is coming from Slovakia, and he has been working for HP for some time. And then he was just telling me that he came back from his paternity leave after having spending 4 months with his lovely daughter. So I know it's being away from daughters, but the work is work. But yeah, he was privileged to have a paternity leave, and I'm sure he will grow. The good citizens for Slovakia.
Thank you, Dharam.
So he is a factory working for HP factory, an operation head. I'm sure it's a very big responsibility, and he has worked, and the number of achievement you have, including you reduce 20% of the material wait time, and then you are able to save $20 million. It's a great achievement, and $20 million in an annual year, utilizing your Six Sigma and innovative project management techniques. So today we like to learn more about these things, of course, and more you share, great. My job here is to take out every drop of knowledge from you and packet it so people can learn from you. And these videos are going to be on the YouTube, our own YouTube, and there are more than I think 250 videos, webinars I've gone through, and with so many experts came through this program, which is I think more than 100 podcasts as well. So if you're not have start learning from them, please do that. I have shared on the chat. If you have not seen the chat, you can see the chat. Few links for the YouTube channels and few other things which can be benefit to you. I will be sharing I will be sharing PDF code with you. So sometime almost at the end of the program, so you can gain one PDU from this program. So he did PgMP 2019, and he took some gap in between, and then he did PfMP this year on 31st May 2024. So the best thing is he was the first PgMP, Slovakian PgMP, and the first PfMP. So what a great privilege to have having this feeling that I am the first person to get. Now that comes with a lot of responsibility on you, Peter, because now you're the first. You have to make sure you're not the last, and you will be supporting more and more professionals and to gain their, to motivate them to get the PgMP and PfMP and get them better program and portfolio managers. So that's something I'm looking forward from him. I'm sure he's
Exactly.
already excited. He's already working with the PMI chapter. And thank you to the local chapter, the Slovakian chapter. Is that correct? PMI Slovakia?
Correct. Yeah. They also advertised it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see a lot of people from Slovakia joining today. So welcome all. So you can be like Peter and smiling with the two certificates. Not look, don't go for certificate just for sake of certificate. These certificates are for you to learn to become a better project program portfolio managers. So that should be the aim. And byproduct, you get a certificate, you get a better marketability, and you grow in the strategic roles. So that's where you get the your paths. You open up number of doors and windows for you. So I'm excited. I have been so far involved in 521 PGMPs and 149 PFMPs. I know it's not a lot when you look at the PMP numbers are great, a lot of 1.5 million. PGMP we have around 7,200, and PFMP we have only around 2,200. So being, such a, niche certificate. This is the, I can tell you, these certificate, these people who have done this certificate, they are not ordinary people. They are extraordinary people. They have taken the courage and gone all the way and completed the certificate. So once again, Peter, thanking you for trusting me on the journey, not once, two times, and I'm glad I was able to contribute to your success.
Thank you very much, Dharam. Actually, that was, yeah, your help actually really on support and everything you gave me helped really to get me actually those two certificates. So thank you very much.
I'm
I'm not sure if
privileged.
it would be possible without you. So,
No, it's possible. Maybe just it take extra time. Anything is possible. It's not. I don't want to be the only person because it's not me. It's you who took the step and gone all the way. But of course, in the process, you find the right people, right material, and you are the one who's the one going to do the exam and feeling confident in the exam. So, Peter, anything you like to share? Anything you want to say before we get started with the questions?
I can only add maybe to my professional experience, right? So the PfMP actually was my 10th certificate already, which I
Wow,
passed, right? So I had some already like preparation, how to prepare for the exam and this kind of stuff. Had that practice with that while learning already for PMP before, even for MSP, managing successful programs, or Prince 2, right? And even ITIL. And I have also one certificate from supply chain, CSEP, and then Agile CSM. So yeah, it was actually not new to study for the exam, right? For those two certifications, but it was different compared to others. While for PMP, for example, you have too much material out there, right? You can find whatever almost, but for PgMP and PfMP, I think at least at that time in 2019 on PgMP, I couldn't find a lot, and I was actually happy that I found you somehow. I don't remember now how, but somehow I found you. So yeah,
it's a destiny. Destiny connects us. Believe it or not, that's how I believe the person I'm going to meet next time is going to be part of somewhere in my life. Whether he's going to support me or maybe inspire me somewhere, one way or other. So every meeting, every discussion, there's a meaning behind that. So I go a little bit philosophical, but there's always reason why we connect with other people. Person.
no, it's just regarding my career, right? I'm in HP already since 2010 for 14 years. Although I started actually in enterprise services, which is now actually DXC technology. So somehow got split, right, in 2015. But now I'm in HPE, basically still the same company when it comes to that, right? And most of it I spend actually in program and project management until 2 years ago when I switched actually to operations. And while operations is part of the portfolio, so somehow also helped me to understand also portfolio management in that.
Beautiful. And just to, while talking that I have also spent around 9 years, including EDS and HP at the time. When I was saying half my working experience was with HP or EDS. So it's a great company to work for. Okay. And actually, I was listening today Steve Jobs' autobiography, and he was inspired by HP at the time, and how he got the inspiration from Hewlett at the time, and he built his almost trillion, actually trillion company. So you never know. That's what I'm saying. You get inspired from somebody, and you can be bigger and better than other person. Peter, I think let's continue the journey where you start talking about the PgMP, PfMP. Can you walk us through your journey to achieve PgMP and PfMP certification? What motivated you to pursue them back to back?
So basically, PGMP, there were actually a bit different motivations for both of them, although one motivation was the same. First one in Slovakia
Yeah,
to become the first. But for MSP, basically, or PGMP actually, it was because I had MSP from the other company, right, which was providing it. So I wanted to have the same thing from PMI while I'm working for American company. Right? Just for PGMP, you need to have some kind of an experience for that, right? So I was basically In 2015, I got a program to run, factory digitalization, and obviously I wanted to learn more about the programs and how to manage them from PMI perspective, and that was another motivation actually why I took it. It was so I think it was hard because there were, as I mentioned, no books. I didn't know which books actually to read, and the application also I didn't have much info on that. I was trying to Google it, but I didn't find much. But and then I submit my application, passed panel review. I had Ginger Levy and Standard for Program Management, obviously. These two books, Ginger Levy, hard exams. I was not scoring. I was scoring around 50% on those questions there, on those exams, which is not enough. That's why I actually 1 month before the exam, I was like, okay, I need help. I need some kind of support. So that's why I was looking for something. And then I found actually your mentorship. And I got in touch with you. Which I liked was actually that it was really fast. Also, you basically shipped the book. I think within 1 week I had it here in Slovakia, which I couldn't believe, but it was here within 1 week. And then I passed it on the first take actually. Then afterwards, you
Yeah.
gave me also some tips, hints, right? What to expect on the PgMP exam, and it was really great. Then actually I got that confidence that yes, I can pass it. And even actually during your session, it was interesting that you encouraged me that yes, you got it. Yes, you can do it, because I was obviously kind of nervous, right? Because I'm still the first in Slovakia, so um, whatever the reason was, why not? Why am I first, right? And then for PfMP, I knew straight away that I'm going with you. Right? Just still motivation. First one in Slovakia, and I became a manager in operations. So basically, I just wanted to know more about the portfolio management and the interaction basically of all these projects, programs, right, and operations together. How that should positioned. In the end,
Yeah.
I think for study, I used just your book and basically standards for portfolio management. I had also 2 exams from Ginger Levy, but I already learned from you from before. I should not take that result from Ginger Levy as something that I'm failing, because I think I never done actually Ginger Levy exam so that I would pass actually the
Mm.
exam itself. But I used it in order to really understand actually the question, really to get me thinking about the question somehow and get the better understanding about that process which they are talking about in that question in the end. So, and then I took the exam this year, right 1 day before my birthday. So, and I passed it. So there was something to celebrate.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. No, that's how you can give a birthday gift for yourself.
Yeah.
And did you use my exam simulator? I think you did this time for PFM.
I think it was just
Oh
being
no, it was
prepared.
not released. It was not released by that time.
Yeah,
PFMP exam simulator was not released. Um, but now I have the PgMP, PfMP, and PMP exam simulator out, and even ACP exam simulator. And other thing is I'm releasing my app, launching my app. I'm very excited about it on 15th of November, not far away. I wanted to release, actually, I wanted to release this app um, August last year. I was feeling very confident, excited until my wife said, "What are you doing?" Yeah, oh, this is an app I'm working on for a long time. Are you serious? And she found more than 1,000 defects in that. Can you believe that? I mean, I'm glad you looked it, and now the app is coming out really, really awesome with lots of material. I'm putting, glossary, formulas. All these are, you can find them easily. They will be, free to use. Confusion busters. There are lot of terminology, roles and responsibility, goals and objective, benefits and this. And so I'm putting those together, so you can see defensive. And also it has question banks, all the question banks I'm talking about, and it has practice questions, it has the videos, it has the complete reference guide, it has the task. I will probably have a different session to talk about this, but the task is explained. The task explained with keywords identified, with examples provided, with a picture of that task, and then followed by 5 questions. So no way you can miss this exam by going through this process of learning this way. Now whatever I've learned in the last 15 years of teaching, I am putting this into the app. So I can't wait to release this app. I'm sure you like to see, and everybody here like to see that. And I think that's a game changer. The release I'm going to do PMP, PgMP, PfMP, and at least I will have question bank for ACP in that app. And I like to have one app with all these different PMI certificates. Sorry, I've taken away your day today. But I'm
But I
very
have to
excited.
agree. I have to agree with you actually, because for PMP I used the simulator and it was great.
Yeah.
Just practice, 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 and then that's that way you can actually prepare yourself for the exam. It was really
Yeah. I have a question here from Carolina saying, nice to meet you, Peter. My question is on your preparation for PFMP. How much time did it take for you to prepare for the test?
so. I started actually, but study itself, I would say it was. I have to admit that it was right after your mentorship. Okay, I didn't really have time actually. It was because you had like schedule when those mentorships are happening, right? And yours happened actually a bit earlier than I wanted. But yeah, in the end, you providing the videos, right, towards that, and basically you are still online on WhatsApp and this kind of for help in case there are questions, right? So I started in March and basically took an exam in May, at the end of May. So
Yeah.
like
I mean, it was not long. It was quite fast. And given that you are also going through this process, your wife was expecting at the time, and you're busy with many things, and work was not easy, and everything, and you still, you got there. The main thing with these certificates need commitment and passion. You cannot just say, okay, just because everyone is doing it, let me do it. You need to find a passion and you go all the way. And once you decided, you cannot stop yourself because you have decided it's your vision. You make it possible. So that's what you took it, and I'm sure. I mean, I can talk about my 521 PgMPs and 149 PfMPs. They all, I can see some of the names here. They've done PgMP, PfMP. Um, it is a commitment, and once you commit it, find your study time, plan a study time, and maintain it, go through it, revise it. If you're not working, do something else. I can tell you one person, he passed the exam just 2 days ago, 3 days ago, Manish. um, he blocked his time from the actually he came from office, go to sleep after dinner, go to sleep, and wake up at 10 o'clock after everybody's sleeping. Then he study up to 3 o'clock in the morning. Then he go to sleep and then go to office. So in the 5 hours he was studying continuously. I know this is crazy, but this is how some people do because they are committed and they do all the way. I'm not saying you should do that way or anybody should do that, but you need to find your working, what works for you, and then and go with that. So yeah,
I
go ahead,
actually
sir.
told my wife that March, April, May, I'm busy in the evenings. So it
Exactly.
was before my second daughter was born, so it was still
I mean,
okay.
I can't imagine if I'm busy and when she's in the last few days of baby coming, hey, don't talk to me. I'm busy.
We need to
But
plan it.
yeah, I know. But thank you. Thank you to your wife as well to give you the time and allow you to go through your dream. All right. I get excited with these kind of conversation. Okay, so how do you apply your knowledge and skill gained from PGMP, PFMP in your current role at HPE?
So basically, it comes out. It comes to the definition of both of them, and that's what actually happened to me. That realization in the end. Basically, programs are about benefits, right? Portfolio about the value, And it's about that strategic thinking which is coming into it. Until then, it was about projects, really deliver the outcome. Basically, you have deadlines, really deliver this, and this, right? And that's it, right? You're not so strategically actually involved in it. Then what basically in that strategic direction or involved actually in somehow managing the course of that strategic direction, right? So basically, for me, it was really that shift in thinking to strategic management, right? And thinking really about how this is actually good for the company,
Mhm.
right? To the strategic goals, and started to have more focus really on KPIs, benefits, value, right? And really try to see how those KPIs are supporting those organization priorities and see those projects somehow like puzzle, right? This is actually part of the puzzle, bigger puzzle, which is kind of trying to deliver actually the future success of the company. And mm, yeah, and with portfolio, it was also about operations, how those projects actually impacting operations. Right? Usually there are fights between project and operations, right? Projects wants to actually deliver fast to operations and hand it over. Operations, then if there are defects and this kind of stuff, then they don't want it obviously because it's more manual work than for them if it's not delivered properly. So, but the whole thing basically, right, with that shift in thinking, for me, it was an impact on how to approach stakeholder engagement, how to approach risk management, how to approach issues on projects, how to approach communication, all of that basically how exactly see the stakeholders, right? Do we have even right sponsors on the projects who are really supporting, or if is it that actually in the right organization, because HP is still really big, right? So you need to have the right organization involved in all these projects then, because if you start actually project and you miss just one thing, one stakeholder, then it can be a huge problem, right? And you will not deliver what you want to deliver. So from that perspective, like to really strategically thinking, okay, so what are we doing? Why are we doing it? And then who needs to be really involved in order to really make it successful? That was at least
Yeah,
my realization from those two certificates from
yeah,
learning.
exactly. Look, everybody is different, and what you learn out of these, and what you apply in your day-to-day project program portfolio management. And one thing I can tell you, look, look, everybody is doing great job. It's not like I'm doing bad or the other person. Every country, every company has different way of growing. But what PMI has done, they have standardized the project management, program and portfolio management. So while your system, your thinking may work, but utilizing this knowledge can only help you to do your job better. So I will suggest anybody who's doing project program portfolio management, use these as a tools for you, knowing about them. And when the right time comes, you use them. Okay. First, knowledge about them and use them when you have to. And otherwise, what's the point? So if you don't know about the tool, you don't know whether I'm doing the good job or not. So I mean, what you're saying, you're now doing, better engagement, or your benefit realization is more advanced, and your governance is there, and all kind of thing. Yes, you had experience, but what PMI is suggesting, and looking these things holistically. So one thing I think in our classes, I like to see how you can apply this knowledge in your day-to-day program and projects. So in the process of growing every week, learning in the group mentor program, personal mentor program, you have opportunity to apply the knowledge, and you learn from that and continue to grow into that. So that's what I really liked. And I see this, what you have gained, many people have gained, and I've seen people coming doing the project management. By the time they finish, they got the title of program manager, PgMP. And now one person actually doing, he's a global competency leader with Microsoft, and he's an army person. And growth, when I see the growth like this, wow. This certificate, yes, of course, this take time and money, but what can you achieve from these is up to you actually. While many people come to me, that I did my PMP, I got no benefit out of this. I did my PGP, I got no benefit. Look, it's not about the certificate. It's not about, just because I'm MBA, I'm a master's, people just call me. You need to learn and you need to promote yourself. You need to show them, show the world why they should be hiring you or why they should be giving you more money than what you're earning now. Otherwise, these certificates are just for the sake, good to be, when people get PgMP, PfMP, you probably get 100, 200, 300 conversations from your friends, people who never know, but they are conversating you. That's a good moment. That's a 15, I say 2 days, 3 days fame. But what do you do with this certificate? Up to you. The learning from this, and when you go and inspire other people, hey, learn. It's not about certificate. Just learn and grow yourself. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, could you share an instance where your dual certificates directly contributed to a project or portfolio success?
Yeah, so it comes actually from the strategic thinking, which I
Yeah.
mentioned also which I mentioned in the previous question, right? So it's about basically we had, for example, I became actually program manager for factory digitalization program, right? And basically we had a project there which was focused on assembly, implementing a machine learning algorithm, right, from pictures basically to analyze how assembly is going, whether it's correct or not, right, whether operators are doing a great job or they are making mistakes, right? But when you look at it actually strategically, okay, so we have assembly, but assembly is impacting actually other processes then afterwards, and especially test, right? And if we would have just projects, they would be separate projects, basically all coming into digitalize the factory. But in order to make it better, basically from that strategic point of view, we started to actually bring actually test engineering organization into it, develop that partnership with them, right? As I mentioned, HP is big company. They don't have basically sometimes working really in silos, right? So basically we made them aware, this is what we are doing, this is how we are doing, right? And this is the outcome we want to achieve. Can we actually connect each other and maybe make that project more successful? And then also you can spin off some other ideas in test engineering and improve your processes. And that's actually what happened. And test engineering really started to spin off other ideas on how to improve things in their area and speed up, right? So in factory, it's about getting servers quickly out of the factory, right, with the best quality. So and test is actually one of the biggest time consumers, right, in the server manufacturing space. So basically, that was actually what was achieved by this strategic thinking. And then another thing was also that, okay, we have assembly. We saw actually that some of the things on the picture and could be better, right? And then contacted R&D as well. Okay, can we design the products a bit differently, right? That it would be easier for assembly. We have less issues because we see from machine learning, hey, these are the issues we are always experiencing, right? And can we maybe design it a bit differently, the new generation of servers, etc., etc. Um, so this is actually the impact of that strategic thinking. Then you're not thinking only about your project, but you're thinking actually as a whole, right? What do you want to achieve?
Right. I mean, look, earlier we talked about these certificates give you extra thinking, extra wings, or perspective also change. And you gave a good example what happened and what changed because of your thinking and strategic thinking. So I'm glad you're able to use this certificate in your day-to-day project programs, and especially now in operations. And you did mention somewhere like you saved 20 million, you realized $20 million in annual benefits. So all these things actually help to gain, to see things differently. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I can relate when I was when talking about the server and how you make, because I was putting together this cloud data center. The servers coming from Singapore, HP Singapore, and not only server but the network device and everything. It takes so much effort to bring everything together and making sure everything is working, every light is there, It's a so minute detail, and when you see the product coming out, it's so good. While HP is in the, they are specialized in that area, and it, and that aspiration happened because not because HPE, but because of the people working there, and behind the scene people like Peter, how you improve the system, how your working environment created where people can do their job better.
Thank you, Dharam.
Good, good. I mean, I can, from as an ex HPE, I can, or HP, I can just appreciate your efforts from that point of view.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing actually. When I first went to the factory, which we have here in Europe, in Czech Republic, was really amazing to see that server manufacturing. It's just it's just
Yeah, great.
just really great.
Yeah. So, Peter, my next question is: what lessons have you learned from managing portfolios and program that you wish you had known earlier in your career?
I would refer to one thing which I've learned is about sponsors. It's just I've seen numerous projects actually to fail because they didn't have the right sponsor.
Yeah,
It's just amazing how um, I- because even you are in project management, you're trying actually your best, right? And sponsor is somebody who should be supporting you. And if you don't understand actually his role, or he doesn't, or he she doesn't understand her role, right? Then the project will fail.
yeah,
And I saw it numerous times that you establish a project, okay, it's a great project, but if you don't have the right sponsor who can actually take it up with the senior management, right? This is the right way to do it. This is the right project. This is the right initiative. In the end, nobody will pay attention to it, right? You will not get resources you want it, and you will fail in the end because it will not be possible to do it.
yeah,
And that was one of the biggest, I would say.
yeah. And I can tell you that the way sponsor should be supporting the project program is a make or break. If they have knowledge, their expertise, they are committed and working, they are supporting the project program and portfolio managers, the results can be beautiful, very, very different. Instead of just finger pointing, hey, the project program manager has no idea, they don't know anything. No, it's your job to, if they don't know, you guide them, direct them, and take them to the right direction. Yes, nobody is expert. Nobody is born as an expert. It's a teamwork. It is of course, your knack is on the chopping board. You should be more committed with the project or program because your responsibility is more than that as well. So, relation for them, of course, I don't know if anybody as a sponsor who is working as sponsor, listening here or watching here, you can have your own perspective. But what I'm saying is, yeah, you have your leadership role and but you need to work with your project program managers effectively, guiding them. You are like a big brother, not just yeah, why not doing it? Just asking question. Work together as a team. And obviously, when we go through the PgMP and PfMP, we learn a lot about stakeholder engagement, role of program manager, role of a portfolio manager, and the sponsors, how they play important role within these, and how you can have a good relationship with them. Good. Thank you. Thank you. How do you see your role as a portfolio program manager evolving in next 5 years?
I think there are a couple of things here. So one thing is development of and enhancements of machine learning algorithms, automation. More and more tools are coming, right? So that should help basically to automate more and more things, especially the repetitive tasks. So I would see that as one of the things. Also, basically the analysis of the historical data, which can help with proactive actually risk management, and that you can see, okay, so similar project and had these issues, right? And it will somehow, that algorithm can actually give you that hint, hey, you should look into this run, into this area, um, and see what's going on there. Another point would be generative AI. AI is everywhere now. Sometimes it's a buzzword, but still I think it's coming here, and it's helping, I think, in some limited way already to
Yeah,
some program managers to really even create their own presentations, right? Because you need to write a lot of text, so that can help actually to to write a text, hey, narrow it, even personalize it to the audience, to clients, right? And then another thing, which I think that those AI tools will be good for, are for brainstorming, that you can even take it to your team meeting, and basically if you have some problem, right, which you're trying to resolve, you can use it for brainstorming. Okay, so what is AI actually telling us that we should be looking at, and maybe it can generate some kind of innovative idea as well, right? That can be bounced off, right? So you can have actually one more person almost like also giving you some suggestions on what to do there. Another thing, I would say, data-driven decision making. Really, I think more and more, with more and more data coming and being analyzed, I think this is basically giving you real-time visibility into what's going on, right? And I think there will be always more and more. And here, whether it's project manager, program manager, or portfolio manager, I think they need to really promote that literacy for data analysis, that project teams know how to gather the data, analyze them, and interpret them. And so that actually then we can even have meaningful discussions during your meetings, that you don't have discussions around, okay, I feel that this is actually this way, but you take actually the data, you interpret them, and you have facts whether it is really what the stakeholder think it is or it's not, right? And you can show them, hey, so the situation is like that, right? In case this is actually successful, celebrate it, right? So I think this program project and portfolio managers should really encourage people to do it and showcase positive impact, right? In case somebody did it. Another thing, I think, to program on projects, we have it, I think, in program and portfolio more agile. I think this is also kind of will start to be integrated into it, right? So programs most probably will start, in my opinion, to split actually work into more manageable chunks, right? So smaller ones instead of big, huge project, maybe split it strategically into smaller pieces. And then communication, I think project management tools, communication tools, I
Yeah.
think these are getting better and better, which helps in the end, right, for teams to collaborate and so on their own time in the end, right? And if you have really good structure, then you can actually keep everyone up to date, and you can be transparent with the information you're sharing,
Exactly.
instead of, okay, you heard this, you heard that. No. So my opinion, right, this is another area. Obviously, this will need from project managers, program and portfolio managers to adapt their leadership style, right? Because these teams could be then even hybrid or remote, right?
Yeah.
So these managers should really think about investing into the right tools and find also the way how to provide that safety, psychological safety, right? And build trust with the teams through those tools. That basically they on emotional level they're still also okay, right, within the team. And I think one thing which is, I think, not making project program and portfolio manager obsolete is that those skills which are human skills, those
Yeah.
are here to stay. Those are not going away, like critical thinking, problem solving, right, emotional intelligence, agility, adaptability. I think all of these is here to stay, is not going to change. So still continuous learning, and all these managers will need to just
Yeah.
actually get better and better at them as well.
Actually, what you said, while AI is coming and AI, we cannot, run away from that because it's here already. And so, how we can learn and be a better not only program portfolio project manager, but better person, because now you can do some things faster, better, and you have more free times, and not just free time, and now you can engage with your team better. You can can engage with stakeholders better, building a trustful relationship, emotional intelligence. Those are human skills which are, as you said, nobody can replace them, can be very, very useful. because yes, you cannot use the human skills with the AI, or let's say you work with robots. But with the human to human, it's going to still we need that. This will be, nobody can replace that. The emotions and love and affection, your respect, those things nobody can replace. So I mean, while people get worried about, hey, AI will take away my job, they will take away. Like, it's not AI taking away job. You yourself, if you're not ready with a new system, a new way of thinking, then you lose your job. My suggestion, yes, with generative AI and a number of new technology coming up, and also keep yourself up to date with the certificates and the learning what is happening. If you can put your head inside the sand. I don't know, it's dangerous, I don't want to see that. Or let me face it, let me be ready with this whatever is coming. I will be ready and I will conquer, and you will be much better than what you're thinking now at the moment.
Yeah.
So next 5 years, more exciting.
Yeah, and start to study really these AI tools, right? Because there are various, they are starting to grow and there are more and more of them, right? And some of
Yeah,
them are used, and I think just to test them, you will see whether it's good for this task or better that for this task. Maybe these tools will not be the same, will not have the same performance for what you want, right? So is to find your balance also between them, which one is better for which activity you want to do. It will
yeah,
be
good.
important.
Thank you. And guys, you still have time to put your questions. So while I'm still having lots of questions to go through, what advice would you give to professionals aspiring to achieve both PFMP and PGMP?
Now, I would assume that all of those who wants PFMP and PGMP, they already have project management. So planning, really plan in advance. What do you want to do? Usually what I did is kind of like I took New Year resolution. Okay, this year I want this certificate, right? This year I'm going for this one. And I'm going to start already in December to get myself into it, right? And start my application at least. So really plan when do you want to take it, right? While taking into account obviously your career, your personal situation, right? And plan your deadlines, right? See actually what are the requirements and how all that process works. And then, okay, I want to have application submitted by this time. Then obviously you have then for PgMP, PfMP, you have and then panel review, right? So you need to set some time for that, how that this can take this and this long, right? And then think about when do you want to take exam and how long do you want to study, right? So I think that's the main thing. Then another thing is seek help. I would say that really mentorship, right? While I'm here, right, mentorship from Dharam is great. And now with the tools you are developing and providing, I think will be even better, and your success rate maybe should go even higher.
Yeah,
Right, and then think about books actually which you need, but usually during mentorship you will get already the list which you, of what to study for the exam. Then I think the usual ones, right? Plan for breaks. So that actually you can take maybe one break. And then what I did during PFMP, I flagged in the first half of the questions, I flagged too many questions. So then I was started to be cautious about that okay, I cannot flag everything which I'm not like 100% okay. So also because then when I come to it later at the end of my basically when I do the 170 question, and then I will not have time to go all through flagged questions. So yeah, also just to be cautious about that, I would say.
right. Look, one thing you mentioned about New Year resolution. So we are finishing up this 2024. Soon we'll be in 25. So I think this is a good thing, good thinking for you're giving a lot of people idea. Okay, before we enter in 2025, we should have these things in our schedule. Okay, this is actually I would suggest you to have a roadmap, not just having a certificate as roadmap. And I know one person, and he's my good friend now. He's done a number of podcasts with me. His name is Justin. When he came to me, he has a clear idea. He said, Dharam, uh, currently my role is director level, and I want to be in the C level position. For doing that, I have already achieved he already achieved PMP, RNP, and ACP. And he said, okay, I'm going to do PgMP, PfMP with you. And he passed both certificates in 70 days, believe it or not. And he is one of the busiest person, by the way. I have never seen a person who is so busy and so committed, still, completed those two certificates, which sometimes people take ages, in the record time, 70 days. And still doing the podcast with me. I think he did almost 20 podcasts with me. I don't know where he find the, like time when he's so busy in the meetings and flying out, flying in, and still can do these things. So look, we do have a constraint time, but it's not about the time constraint. It's about the prioritization. How you prioritize. What do you see as the number one priority at the moment? If you have to take a flight in the morning at 4 o'clock, no matter what, you will be there on there. I mean, of course, sometimes people do miss the flight because they're not committed. But you know, how to catch a flight, you will there. You cannot say, hey, I don't time. You have to find time. So when something becomes so high priority or a part of your vision that this or part of the roadmap, you will find time to be there. And I've seen this time after time. Many people, as I was talking about, this guy was late in putting the blocks the night time. Some people work in the morning time. Some people whatever. But it is about staying committed to your vision and keep doing what you do best. Keep improving yourself. Okay. I do have some questions which came through the registration. I'm interested in hearing more quantifying annual benefits in dollars of innovative project management techniques. I need to show more value than just delivering projects and programs within agreed and aligned cost schedule. And yeah. Yes, we all do that, but how can you demonstrate the value?
Yeah, so here basically he's talking about tangible benefits, right? He wants to quantify it in dollars. So here I think it depends on what do you measure, because if you don't measure it, then you will not have anything in the end to show, right? To show the value, especially tangible, which you need to calculate in some way. So really start to set up the KPIs, metrics for basically for what you want to measure, what you are actually use as a project management technique, an innovative project management technique, whatever that is, right? It could be, we talked about AI, right? Let's say you involve AI into your project management, right? Now, for example, you have this task, I don't know, took me this and this amount, right? And now with AI or machine learning, it will take actually less. And this is very easily quantifiable, right? Because you just take actually how much time you saved yourself. You have your hourly rate of your salary, right? You just, I don't know, frequency, right? On a weekly basis, I save that much time. Annually, you will calculate it very easily then, right? So I think it's just you need to have the data for that in order to quantify it in the end. What exactly is what do you want to measure, right? And you need to measure it in the end. So I would say really, if you want to show value, think about the metric and measurements you want to put in place for which areas, and then based on the measurements and metrics, you will see actually what you're improving, or if you are improving in that area, or you don't.
Yeah. I mean, you rightly said, first we need to know what we're measuring. So we need to have good value management system, and then you have to have good tools and metrics and the presentation, whether you're putting that on the dashboard or in the email, whatever it is, and keeping a track of that. What was expected, what you delivered. Are you delivering more than what you thought? Then you can improve more. Or you are not doing as expected, then you can see why we're not getting. So look at the root causes and fix the root causes and continue to be better and better, and and keep an eye on that. How we are progressing. Are we within the defined boundaries? Because there may be some ups and downs, but if you are you can recover from that. That's great. All right, thank you. I just for your information, guys, I just put a PDU code on the chat. So please take a note of that PDU code. It has PDU code as well as course identifier. You need basically PDU claim code. That should enough. This should be enough for you to pick the code and provide the date. Today's date as November 8th in US. So that's the date you have to provide, and that should be enough for you to claim the one video. And system will distribute whatever number of hours, 0.25 from here and there. So you don't have to worry about that. And also a discount coupon. So in case you get excited and really want to join, and you can book my time. Uh, Very simple to find my time. He said www.talk to Dharam, my name, talktodharam.com. You will able to book my 15-minute time, and we can go through your journey, whatever question, clarification, and discuss about what will work best for you. As different options you have, we can talk about that. Okay, my other question coming from Sean. He worked for hydropower in Dallas. With your experience in quality assurance and managing complex software projects, how do you balance tight deadlines with ensuring high quality outcome across diverse portfolio?
I would say it's a portfolio, right? So you need to focus really on essentials. You cannot lose yourself in some details. So really focus on essentials, have crystal clear communication and stakeholder engagement. It's very crucial that the communication really goes actually, and whatever needs to be communicated is communicated, and basically that stakeholders knows actually what's going on, right? Being agile as well helps, right, to break down actually the tasks, initiatives into smaller chunks and get that actually review and refine through assessment, right? So get that feedback loop going in there, and really also seek like a diverse feedback, I would say. So the diversity is also very important in these kind of things. And resource management, right? Do you have right resources? Are they motivated actually to do this, right? Are you giving them actually the challenging task? What we used actually in HPE, we have team of trainers for Clifton Strengths method, and I think this was a great exercise where you saw really that because basically the whole method talks about that people always use strengths. Although you have your own, your opportunities for growth in some of the skills, but you will still use your strengths in order to improve them, right? So it's always better actually to really give actually people tasks which are actually playing into their strengths. Obviously, then they will like it better and their motivation goes up, and that helps. Obviously, when you have a tight deadline, if they like it, they will be more productive. Right. Then whatever can be standardized, automated, and streamlined, I would say that like templates, checklist, guidelines, really have them standardized. Use project management software, right, so that everything is transparent and communicated clearly. We have collaboration, actually platforms, right? And then what I would also maybe mention is that Lean Six Sigma technique, 5S. I think that helps also on project management. Uh, really look it up. I would say it helps me at least. That first one is basically sort, right? So really sort it out. What is necessary, what is unnecessary, and sort it out, and what is actually necessary information which you want to provide, right? And which you want to store, and etc. etc. So and then in the end you will standardize it and really make it in a way that you make it sustainable, that all this information coming actually in the nice standardized way, and stakeholders know what to expect. Time management, right? Focus on prioritization of tasks, right? And continuous learning, I would say. Still learn how you can improve, how if there is a deadline that you maybe missed and what went wrong, we post-mortem, right? And then try to actually get maybe even new ideas from books, right? And like me from this certificate, for example, there's another thing, right? That you get new ideas, it will change your thinking, how you look at things, right? And you can actually avoid some of the issues which with the old knowledge you would get, but with the new knowledge you would avoid, right? And I would say also last one is work-life balance. If you burned out, you will miss a lot of deadlines So
Yeah, yeah.
be stay healthy, right, and really watch out for your health. And
You daily yoga,
yoga, yeah,
yoga, walking,
running.
swimming, running, whatever can keep your health going. Yes, thanks for good advice. Lots of good advice here. How to utilize better techniques, better way of utilizing some softwares and tracking things and looking after a team. The motivated team, and giving them the right job as per their strength. And if they have weaknesses, somebody else is complementing them. So they work as a team. All right. Next question from Jefferson, Germany. He's coming from Germany. Given your extensive background in consulting and managing high performance technology solutions, how do you ensure that the project and program goals remain aligned with evolving client expectation and business priorities in fast-paced environment?
So basically, you need to have defined and agreed on a vision, and also with stakeholders to agree on KPIs, how you're going to measure that you're actually
Yeah.
going in that direction towards the vision. And that's very crucial, because if they don't know how, if they don't measure it and give it to them actually to measure it, if it's a quality, for example, give to the quality that they will measure it and they will see, okay, this project has an impact on this and this, right? um and we are going towards actually that goal, that yes, we will improve it, I don't know, first pass yield, for example, etc., etc., right? So um and in order to stay actually on track, really include feedback loops. So kind of stay agile, right? So feedback loops, so that they have time for feedback, right? You can do the assessments, right, where you are really on track towards the vision. So, but these needs to be agreed before you can even measure anything. So if there is a change in that vision, then obviously those metrics will not help you in the end, right? Because if that's changing, then metrics most probably will be changing as well. And these feedback loops can actually give you also time to swiftly actually respond to changes, right? So that you're not waiting for the end somewhere a few months away, and then you will realize, okay, we are not actually going in the right direction. These feedback loops will help you to stay on course with the client, with the business, whoever is actually the at the end customer.
Yeah, I think these topics need lot more time. We can spend hours and hours. But yeah, thank you for putting this together in a shorter time. Um, Thank you. Okay, Andre from Brazil. In your experience, he's asking, in your experience managing cross-functional teams and large-scale transactions, what key practices have you found most effective in managing or maintaining team engagement and performance during the period of significant organization change?
So I always tell my team to really not to be bothered so much about changes, but be bothered about what you're doing in order to improve yourself. Because in the end, if you are improving
Yeah,
and you're improving yourself, your skills, your techniques, whatever the organizational change, you will most probably just take an advantage of it, of those changes with the skills you get, right, as part of it. So really that continuous learning, getting skills, getting the knowledge actually, then this is going to help you to, whatever the change is, you just see the opportunity, then okay, I've actually learned this, right? I actually know this, so let's go into that area, right? And let's do that, right? So in my opinion, these kind of changes in the organization, as long as you continuously improving yourself, learning and studying, I think there's not so much to afraid compared when you're not doing anything, right? And really stay up to date with the latest technology, learn it, study it, and in the end, whatever the change is, you can always become a hero, although that change.
yes. I think the most important thing is, you as a leader, you need to make sure everybody understands. This is why this is happening. This is what the change is all about. Show them the value, what value they will get, not about value organization will get, because they want to know what is in for me. And if the new technology, they say, okay, guys, you have opportunity to learn something new, and that can be more powerful for you. So it's all about them, not about somebody else who is not in the picture at the time. Organization, great, we will have better productivity and other thing, but you will have better tools, and you will be in better control, and you have learned something new. So be open to learn. Yeah, great. Thank you. Okay, James from Kansas, USA, he's asking, with your leadership experience across complex digitization and supply chain projects, how do you ensure alignment between project executions and broader portfolio goals to maximize strategic value for the nation? Something we have talked about, but yeah.
Yeah. We touched on the topic already. It's basically really to get your stakeholders involved strategically and think about strategically on what this project, this program means actually and for whom, right? And especially in HPE, we have a hierarchy, obviously, right? So whenever we actually present anything, right, this always goes through hierarchy and then from bottom to top, right? And there is always a check, okay, on a regional level, on a global level, and these kind of checks are really needed. So and have sponsors involved so that actually you get actually that time, right? Because all those senior leaders, they are busy, so really push for it that you get time and explain actually what you're really doing, and that's basically that feedback loop they will give you where you are really on track towards the vision they have, right, towards the organizational goals, or actually what you're doing in the end needs to be changed or maybe decommissioned. So.
All right. So last question I have from Saudi Abdul is, I'm keen on knowing more about combo program, PgMP PfMP offering. So I do offer, in case you want to one program, okay. If you want to two program, I can combo it and do some better discounting there. So I like to see if I can make your budget, like everybody come with different budget as much as I can, especially if you want to do two programs or more. So yeah, if you have any specific need, I mean, we can talk. The simple is talk to them, and we'll explore the best program, best option, whether in budget, not budget, what can we do, and all kind of things. So anyway, so that's aside. I like to thank all of you, even though we've already over time, 8 minutes over, but you stayed here. That means you're listening, you're learning from Peter. So Peter, thank you for your contribution. You were already, you shown that, how the value can be delivered to organization by learning, growing yourself. Company also grow, and company grows, you also grow. So it's a, it has a partnership. So they like to see that you are a better professional, not only how you handle things, but you are mentally strong, spiritual strong, and you are up to date with the new technology, new certifications. So my recommendation to everyone, keep learning and find relationship or find partnership on LinkedIn. There are a lot of people around, and at least 521 of my students of PgMP and 149. You can reach out to them, talk to them, learn from them, or find out why they should talk to them. And look, I'm very excited and happy. Thank you for this, your contribution, and thank you for all of you joining today. I'd like to invite you to the next program that is on 21st of November, and this is with Moyad from Saudi Arabia. And that is where he's talking his journey from PMP to PgMP. I know the topic is more certificate, but we'll talk more about other things as well. So another interesting conversation, and I'd like to see you there. Okay, guys. So thank you very much, and thank you, Peter, for putting all these efforts to be ready and be energetic and give us value here. And everybody came here to listen to you, and I'm sure they got the value with all the thank yous and coming from on the question pad. I like to thank everybody here, and thank you, Peter, and thank you to my team to put together such a great event as well.
Thank you very much, Dharam. Thank you. And
All
thank you
right.
to the attendees that they stayed.
Yeah, and make sure you go and talk to the PMI Slovakia chapter, and there, explain why the value of PgMP, PfMP, and I think there are a number of people there from there, your colleagues. Yeah, help them out. And if you need further, I'm here to help. All
Thank
right,
you,
guys.
Dharam. I will.
Yeah, take care, and I will see you soon, or you will see me soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.